Welcome to the 2011 Pasadena Showcase House of Design. I'm Steve Lentz. You're going on an adventure. But on this odyssey, we'll return to 1929, when this house was built as a getaway home for its original owner. A second house, a house deep in the woods and close to the mountains. Architect Paul Williams designed homes with a palatial scale in the great room or the living area, which included leaded glass windows and a paneled wood ceiling. Designer David Dalton said it reminded him of an English hunting lodge with some changes.
Only my take on it and a fresh, sort of more modern interpretation. You'll see that they cranked up the volume on the scale and the color. So we have the colors from the story are fluorescent colors, pink, orange, and red, with a shot of lime green, and the scale has been blown up. You'll see the florals are enormous.
These sconces were a surprise, not what Dalton ordered. But in a project such as this, flexibility is a key.
What makes it exciting is if there's some counterpoint. So we honored the past with quite a few traditional things. We've got the French side chairs that were here originally, that were part of the original decor, that we recovered and reused. The table in the window bay is also from the house originally. We did a sofa that was more modern in its essence and a little sculptural.
Upstairs in the master chambers, Hal Swanson and Dan Ollis decided to blend furniture, accessories, and art with the style of the home.
And because it's a Paul Williams home, we said, in context of his architecture and the fact that we do love classical, we are very happy we have the room.
Bed's a focal point, kind of a grand sort of Queen Anne vintage bed, wonderful style to it. The pieces of the room are sort of a heritage to classicism. These would have been pieces that Paul probably would have had in mind when the house was designed.
And the master bath, its colors were all the rage in the Roaring '20s.
Well, I'm sure at that time those were cutting-edge colors. So when you see these old homes, they always had bright green or purple or plum and black and pink bathrooms. So that's why we didn't really want to jettison the bathroom and start over.
There are a number of outdoor design spaces to visit, including the Flight of the Monarchs, located in what was a fruit orchard. David Snow is the designer.
And I basically walked around. I said, find the one area that nobody wants to do, and I'll take that spot. And it turned out to be this little area up on the knoll, and I got to tell you, it's probably one of the better spots. Why? I got the sun. So I'm really happy where I am.
He's wearing a Got Milkweed t-shirt for a reason.
They need the milkweed to lay their eggs on. Now, a little misconception. They don't eat milkweed. They just lay their eggs on it. The eggs become caterpillars. The caterpillars are about 3 to 4 weeks, and they go off to be chrysalis. The chrysalis come in to become butterflies, and the butterflies fly away.
Suddenly, Snow becomes the butterfly whisperer.
See that? Isn't he pretty? Well, there he goes. There he goes. Now, he's not going to go far. He's probably going to come back to that apple tree.
At the Wanderland Tea Garden, the challenge was to take a steep hillside and transform it into an easy trek to the swimming pool below. Form LA Landscaping did the design.
Instantly, our inspiration was, how can we make this easy for people to access? And we, did obviously some thinking, designing, and we came up with this switchback patio path kind of concept.
This right here is going to be the tea party area. There will be a table set up as if this is a tea room with floating windows framing the view of the pool. So it's something that people can stop, enjoy before they reach the pool house.
There may not be a red queen at the table, but giant mushrooms are a part of this fairy tale.
So the stems of the mushrooms are actually trunks from trees that he found that were being cut down for, clearing on the property. And then he fabricated the tops out of rebar and chicken wire and made a frame for the Scotch moss that's placed on top.
If there's a stream, it must be crossed and beauty added. Designer Steve Sandalis.
There was something about this location here underneath the oak trees. I knew we could create a magical space, so I created a flowing stream and a pond. I did some work to the existing bridge. We made a couple patio areas, and I think it's going to be the #1 spot to hang out in the hot heat of April and May. In the pond itself, I'm going to put some night blooming lilies, which will actually bloom at night. I'm going to do some dwarf cattails and rushes. And then around the water feature, we're trying to add some color. So we're adding some hydrangeas, a couple impatiens, and we're trying to give it a nice little woodland feel.
The lady-in-waiting room is being designed by Kristi Nelson. Since it has several sets of windows, she wondered what would it be like to bring the outdoors inside.
I kind of wanted it to be a bit of a flight of fantasy, you know, bringing the outdoors in and making it a little bit of a treehouse retreat kind of magical space for this person who is, you know, a bit of a dreamer, a bit of a romantic, and kind of exploit that sort of feeling in that sense.
This area of the room was pretty plain.
The nook existed, but I really wanted to create a little bit of magic there. So by creating the drape and sort of setting it apart, and it's sort of the inspirational space, I think.
Of several bathrooms in the house, this one was beyond repair.
We removed all of the surfaces in the bathroom. The ceiling was falling in. We had to redo the ceiling. The tiles were all broken, so there was no way to really try to save that. So we really started fresh, which actually enabled me to take this whole theme and pull it into the bathroom and make it a little more glamorous and a little more adult, so that it, you know, really was much more timeless.
How many people are going to sit in the woodland chair?
Hopefully no one, unless they're really brave. It's really, you know, the chair is very much a character in the room. I think that sort of, I almost sort of feel like there are sprites that live in that chair.
The last room you'll enter on the tour of the main house is the parlor, but it's a place where designer John Jarr believes people will spend a good deal of time.
I wanted to create a comfy, cozy sitting room where people could have coffee and read the paper in the morning, as well as a pre-cocktail dinner, maybe some close friends come in for a little conversation. The living room would be used for larger groups and more formal events.
Thank you for coming along on this video tour of the 2011 Pasadena Showcase House of Design. I'm Steve Lentz.